Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. Good old buddy Netanyahu. You know him from such roles as genocidal maniac, complete racist. What was that awesome thing he was in? Endorsing the murder of children. Great guy all around. You know him from those things, probably. Here's Netanyahu's history. So his parents were, I believe, Americans, but moved to Israel. He was born in Israel, but between 1956 and 1958, and again 1963 to 1967, his family lived in the United States. Boy, that's a lot of time in the U.S. He was in Cheltenham Township, Pennsylvania, a suburb of Philadelphia, while his father taught at Dropsy College. Benjamin attended and graduated from Cheltenham. Very much sounds like a British name. Like it should be pronounced Cheltenham, like that or something. But seeing as it's outside Philly, it's probably pronounced Cheltenham. And you can argue about who's right and who sounds dumb. I mean, I think they both sound dumb. So I don't know. Cheltenham High School is where he graduated in Philadelphia. After graduating from high school in 1967, Netanyahu returned to Israel to enlist in the IDF. But he comes back to the U.S. in late 72 to study architecture at MIT. After briefly returning to Israel to fight in the Yom Kippur War, you always go back to Israel just to fight in a good war. Just fighting a little bit of war. Come on home. Anyway, returned to the United States again under the name Ben Nitte, completed a bachelor's degree, so he's changing his name over and over, in architecture in February 1975, earned a master's degree from MIT Sloan School of Management in 76. Boy, this sounds like a pretty American dude, doesn't it? At that time, he changed his name again to Benjamin Nitte, spelled slightly different than the other one. This one ends in an I. This fact has been used by his political rivals to accuse him indirectly of lack of Israeli national identity and loyalty. Basically, he's changing his name to be more Americanized. He's in America a lot, graduates from American college. Netanyahu was headhunted to be an economic consultant for the Boston Consulting Group in Boston, Massachusetts, working in the company between 1976 and 78. At the Boston Consulting Group, he was a colleague of Mitt Romney. Oh, good old Mittens. Oh, Mittens Rom, with whom he formed a lasting friendship. This guy sounds about as American as apple pie. This is a very American guy who now runs the completely genocidal right-wing maniacs of Israel. Yet again, just at every turn, we see that this is a U.S.-backed experiment. This is a U.S.-backed genocide, a U.S.-backed apartheid. Even many people in the IDF are actually not Israeli, at least not by birth. Many of them don't even have family in Israel. What type of soldiers make up the IDF in the Israeli apartheid regime? Abby Martin, who's always doing amazing work on this. Of course, I've brought you many interviews with my friend Abby. She's incredible. She does just awesome work on so many topics, but Gaza and Palestinians' rights have been one of the big ones. Of course, she's been attacked for it, maligned, censored, all those things. Here's just a 30-second moment caused the full Empire Files episode to be removed from YouTube due to complaint from friends of the IDF. This 30 seconds was too naughty for YouTube, and I think it tells us a lot.
With Israeli troops enforcing their right to Palestinian land, many are people like these.
I'm Maya. I'm from Palo Alto in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Hi, my name is Caleb from San Francisco. I joined the IDF about 2 years ago.
I arrived in Israel 4 months ago from Cape Town, South Africa.
I'm Shakir. I'm a lone soldier from Atlanta, Georgia.
Florida, USA, Tampa Bay.
My name is Eitan. I'm a private in the Nachal Brigade. I'm a lone soldier from Atlanta, Georgia.
I always wanted to be Israeli and couldn't think of any other way to be more Israeli than to join the army.
So you'll notice something about these folks. Not really just Israeli, right? Not just Israeli. Many of them strong ties to America, some of them American born. I looked up the numbers of exactly how many we're talking about here. And this is according to Haaretz, a Israeli newspaper. At any given time, this is from 2022, at any given time, around 1,200 American Jews serve in the Israeli army. And then I looked up how many all told, not just American, but because one of them said they were South African and, various other countries. They're called lone soldiers. A lone soldier is a soldier in the IDF with no family in Israel to support him or her. A new immigrant, a volunteer from abroad, or an orphan or an individual from a broken home. These are people who do not have contacts to Israelis, basically, no family there. They just show up and join the army. This article says there are over 7,000 lone soldiers currently serving in the IDF. About 45% of those are new immigrants coming from Jewish communities all over the world. Now, this is unlike most other militaries. Most other militaries, and yes, there are exceptions where militaries get their resources drained, like Ukraine, and they start saying, anyone who wants to shoot a gun, come on over. In general, you can't just show up to a country and say, I want to be in your military. In Israel, the way it works is if you're Jewish anywhere around the world, you can probably become a citizen of Israel almost instantly if you go there. So I could run to Israel and say, I want citizenship, and they would often give it to you. Now, with me, they'd probably watch my videos and say no. But for most people, for most Jews around the world, you could go there and become a citizen, which means you can be American, American born, American bred, a good old boy. I don't know if that many Jews talk like this, but, you know, a couple in my family. I have a couple of people that talk like this. You can show up to Jerusalem there and say, I want to shoot guns for you. I want to harass people and be part of your oppressive apartheid regime. And they will go, come on over. Why not? I don't know why I'm making everybody sound like T. Boone Pickens or something, but there are large numbers, and you know, I said 7,000 was the number there. That's less than 1% of the number of people in the IDF, but of course, those are lone soldiers. Those are people with like no family in Israel, whereas many of the IDF have dual citizenship, U.S. and Israel, or their parents have dual citizenship, were born, raised in America, then moved to Israel and got citizenship and became part, and then their kid becomes part of the IDF. It is mandatory for you to be in the IDF in Israel. This just goes to show, this is just another factor in terms of this being both the Israeli experiment of an apartheid colonial state, but also in terms of the U.S. empire back. This is a U.S.-backed Israeli apartheid system, a U.S.-backed genocide in Gaza that is happening right now with over 30,000, closing in on 32,000 known killed, but also that doesn't count the 10,000 under the rubble. So we're talking over 40,000 people in 160 days. It is really unprecedented in the past few decades, this amount of indiscriminate killing. It's extremely unprecedented. It goes deep into Israeli society, this U.S.-backed platform. This is a U.S. connection. Really, Israel in general is a U.S. and Western experiment. Yes, when it first started, it had more connection maybe to Europe, but it is an arm of the U.S. empire.